What's going on, guys? Specimen here. Before I start the video, over 50% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so please consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit 10,000. Devil's Puffball Nilfgaard. I played this last season on Pro Ladder. I got to 2,600 MMR, which is a really impressive score while finishing in the top 64. This was my highest achieving deck last season. Masquerade Ball has obviously been reworked, where it's now not going to synergize with Roderick and Joachim, which is a big problem for Masquerade Ball decks. A lot of the Chinese meta-brated decks you've been seeing on the ladder aren't going to be working as successfully this season. So, having already got a Nilfgaard deck that doesn't use Masquerade Ball ready to go, I thought, day after the patch, it's the perfect time to share this with you. Warwick the All-Seeing is the sort of focus piece of this card, of this deck. He is a card you want to use in round 1, and he's going to put your opponent's highest provision card on top of their deck. For example, an Oniromancy. Well, what can you do with that? Well, there's a couple of things. We are using the Alchemist, which has still not been changed. Lots of people thought it would be. It hasn't. And you can then steal your opponent's Oniromancy while giving them one of your worst cards. Added to that, before you play that Alchemist, particularly if you're going second, you're going to have the opportunity to play some Viper Witcher Mentors before their Adrenaline condition. Because you know, for example, Oniromancy, a 13 provision card is on top of your opponent's deck. So you can just play some 13 point cards for 6 provisions. That is pretty filthy. We've also got access to another mentor through the location, and finally Vigo as well gives you the opportunity to play another mentor, because he's going to create and play a 1 power copy of a bronze unit from your starting deck, mentor being one of those. So we've got up to 4 mentors in this deck, which is really nice with the Warwick synergy. Obviously you want to use them a lot of the time at Adrenaline 2, but having that extra option to use them earlier on in the round is really nice and gives you a chance to win on even a lot of the time with this deck. Location can also, of course, play an Alchemist. If you don't have that Alchemist in hand, you can use Location for it. And the other way we can steal our opponent's cards, for example, a Keltalis or a Oniromancy, is using Cantarella. Cantarella, of course, has that extra synergy with the Location, where if we've got Location in round 3, for example, we can put our opponent's best gold card from their graveyard on top of their deck, and in that same turn play Cantarella to play it out. So, for example, if we were to kill Harold the Cripple, we could then, if we've set it up earlier, play a Harold of the Cripple of our own. So lots of synergy involving messing with our opponent's deck. Now, stealing your opponent's best card, for example, a Harold or an Oniromancy or an Iced, what that means is if you're giving them like a 4 provision card, you're gaining like 9 provisions and your opponent is losing 9 provisions. So it's like an 18 provision differential in terms of carryover that this Alchemist Warwick play can achieve. So having Warwick access in round 1 is absolutely huge in this deck. As a result, there is a way of tutoring him, and that is through Geralt Quen. Of course, Geralt Quen can also tutor our Alchemist if we need it, and our mentors as well. Okay, cool. Now, another part of this deck that we want to consider is what the rest of the package is. There's 2 ways of going about it. There's sort of a normal Nilfgaard deck where you're going to be using things like Nausicaa Sergeants and maybe some Assimilate. Or there's the other approach, which is using double Madoc. Now, you won't be surprised to see that this is, of course, a double Madoc deck, because that is what I'm a massive fan of. And there is a reason. I have tried without it, but double Madoc synergizes really nicely with this Warwick package, because we also need to play Letho for this double Madoc. And it's another carryover play. So in round 1, what we're trying to do is trying to play Warwick. We're trying to steal our opponent's best card, while we're also trying to play a few bombs to thin out our Madoc and use Letho Kingslayer to copy Madoc, which then means not only do we have a 3-point Madoc every time we play a bomb, but we're also going to have a 5-point Madoc. Now, this has been a deck that's been around for a very long time. Of course, Tailbot was very successful qualifying for Gwent Open 1 with something similar, but it used to use Lockdown as the leader ability, and we're using Imprisonment to have quite a lot of control, but also it's got some fantastic synergy with Coup de Grace, which is just an unbelievable card in this deck. Imagine your opponent plays a Usurper. You can use Imprisonment on your opponent's Usurper, and in that same turn use Coup de Grace, and suddenly you've got your own Usurper. That would be a 15-point Coup de Grace. So Coup de Grace, even without having necessarily the most amazing synergy, before you would proc ball with it a lot of the time, I'm sure, it's still just a fantastic value card, and we can use it twice, which is great. So we are using Roderick, because Roderick is still, okay, it's not going to be proccing ball. We're not going to be using Masquerade Ball in this deck, but it can still search for our gold cards. And sometimes, really, you just want to find that Letho, you just want to find that Warwick in round 1. And Roderick does give you a nice way of doing that. So, of course, with Madoc in the deck, we're going to be playing lots of bombs. But let's look at some of the other cards we're going to be including every single time, even if we weren't going to go for the Madoc package. Because you might still want to try this deck as just like a more wholesome Nilfgaard deck if you're not a big fan of Madoc and bombs and double Madoc. Instead of playing this Madoc and Letho, you could just play some high-end gold cards like an Ivar, like a Lambert, and you just play some normal 4-provision bronze cards because we're going to be playing lots of 4-provision bombs. So a card I would always recommend in this deck is Braathens. Braathens, very similar to Vigo in the fact that he's an assimilate engine, and all we need to do to have Braathens working is play a single emissary and a single informant. Now what that means is we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 units in our deck, in our starting deck, which means Vigo isn't going to be guaranteed, but there's a good chance we're going to find the right thing with Vigo because with just 4 cards. So this is pretty much the setup. I'm going to throw in a ton of bombs. I personally prefer to use the cheaper bombs in at 4 provision. So I'm going to go for the D bombs, the Dancing Stars, and maybe even a couple of Samums could float our boat. We'll leave the Samums out for the moment. The Dancing Stars have really nice synergy with the spies that we play. You can put Roderick and Cantarella and Emissary in positions on your opponent's side of the board to get maximum value off the Dancing Star. D-Bomb's just amazing for removal for 4 provisions while getting out a Madoc. Now bear in mind, if you've managed to get Letho access in round 1, you want to push into round 2 with this deck a lot of the time. So you want to win round 1, push into round 2, and then you play a D-Bomb. It's going to deal 4 damage, maybe kill your opponent's Nausicaa Sergeant or Griffin Witcher, something like that. You're going to get Madoc out, which is an extra 3 points, but then you're going to get the second Madoc as well, which is an extra 5 points. So this 4 provision Demetrian Bomb is going to kill an engine, hopefully, which is 4 points, and then 8 more points on top of that. So 12 points for 4 provision. So you can definitely see why I've built the deck this way. If you can get round control, you've obviously win round 1 while getting all this Warret and Letho carryover, and you push into round 2, get your Madocs out in round 2, and then you either win 2-0 or you go to a short round 3 where again you're going to have another bomb in your hand and it's going to play for like another 12 points. Yeah, that's a bit of a banger combo, but here is the surprise factor. If we look at bombs, previously, I would just be using like Red Haze and Samum and Northern Winds. However, in this deck, as I'm sure you could tell by the thumbnail and that, we're using Devil's Puffball, which, yeah, like it's a bomb, it's poisoning, and Nilfgaard can do quite a lot of poisoning things. Of course, there's Fangs, which we are using a couple of. Now, the downside of using Fangs is it does make our Vigo begin to be a little bit inconsistent. There's 5 things it can now pull. However, the good news is 3 of those things are 1 strength cards. So Emissary, Informant, and the Mentors are all 1 strength cards, so there's normally a decent option. Worst case, you're going to play a Mentor, and it's going to be a 4-point Mentor, but it's still a 7-point play with an Assimilate. Obviously, far from ideal. You want to be playing these Mentors for 13 points, but it could be worse. We're also using Cupbearer. Now, Cupbearer is another star of the show because you might notice there's quite a lot of Assimilate procs in this deck already. We've got Braathens, Vigo, and Cupbearer, as well as having the Informant and, of course, Coup de Grace, Location are also going to proc Assimilate, as does Letho, actually. So having a Poison card that's also a Assimilate engine basically just means you can get ridiculous value if you've got Braathens, Cupbearer, and Vigo all down on the board, and then you play a Coup de Grace onto your opponent's Braathens, or you use Cantarella on your opponent's Braathens, or use Cantarella on any of your opponent's cards and proc Assimilate. You're getting a ton of points, and you're really, really difficult to deal with. Now, there's 1 card left in this deck. In previous iterations of double Madoc decks, I've wanted to use a Neuromancy for that consistency in round 1 to find the Warret, find the Letho. However, in this one, I've not gone for that. I have not got that many bombs in just 6 bombs, and I wanted to try and find a way to fit more bombs in while not having loads of provision spare, because that's a big advantage of Devil's Puffball. If you imagine, I need to have 2 more bombs in this deck, right? If you imagine I go for double Samum, like, what am I going to put in at 15 provisions, right? There's a real issue because previously, again, this deck was using the Lockdown Leader ability, which had a lot less provisions. And the way we do this is we actually play Triss Telekinesis, which is quite thematic, seeing as she is the current journey, because she's going to create and play a bronze special card from either player's starting deck. Hopefully, we're going to be looking for a bomb of ours, so obviously Dancing Star D-Bomb. Sometimes we might just need to be looking for that extra poison. We might have a poison down on the board from a Fangs, and Triss is going to find us that Devil's Puffball, which is going to poison the unit, it's going to summon the 2 Madocs from the graveyard, and it's going to deal 3 damage to the adjacent unit. So that can just be a ridiculous amount of points. Triss into a D-Bomb is like a 15-point play, and into a Devil's Puffball it can be well upwards of 20, depending on what the target is. Yeah, that's the deck. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you have some success with it. As I say, I got this to 2,600 MMR last season, which was my highest score in the end. And I could have got it much higher if I'm honest. Again, you might want to consider trying this same kind of package without double Maddock. If you are looking to do that, I would recommend trying this card. It recently just got buffed. The Toussaint Knight Errant, I think it's got some nice synergy with Coup de Grace. But I'm going to let you get on with the gameplay. If you've got any questions about the deck, make sure you join my Discord. You can ask me about it there. And obviously my Twitch as well, where I stream every single day. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed. And enjoy the games. I get the deck code. !NG should sort you out. Another Lippy, please don't. Up against Patch Saddle Fury. Let's have a gander at the hand. We've got Warret already. And we've also got Quen, which means you have Letho. And we have Location for an Alchemist. Now, this deck's much better going second. It's really important with this deck to make sure you get your Warret, your Alchemist, and your Letho through before your opponent can pass. So even though Mentors are usually really good with Warret, they're really only good in round 1 when you're going second. We can keep 1 in hand, though. Cantarella's an awkward round 1 card, but she's gold. We've got a Puffball. We need some more bombs, right? And another Poison. Keeping Informant can be good to set up Herald, but it might just be Warriors. Let's ditch the MS3. We found the Lethos. This is Alchemist. I'm going to ditch the Canter. I need another bomb and a poison, man. I need a bomb and a poison. Please. Okay, that's a bomb. That's good. We might find a Puffball off Triss. We're going to start off with our boy. And there we have it. We've got a Nero on top. Now, of course, I could have just Cantarellaed into this, but it's better to save Cantarella for the location. Now, if our opponent's playing Scald, Scald is the biggest counter to Warret. Yeah, Puffball's really good in this deck for sure. So they're playing the Portal Fish Flappers. We're playing against an opponent that has a lot of class. That's quite scary. Classy opponent. This is where it would be great to play a Fang, for example. But that's not going to be an option. I don't have one. However, we could find one off of Vigo. And if we miss with Vigo, like, worst case is we can play well, we could just play the 13-point Mentor as well, right? Let's just play the 13-pointer. Now, our next play with this has to be a bomb. Because otherwise, what can happen is, because we're going first... Now, if we're going second, this is fine. We can go Warret, we can go Mentor, 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 win on even, right? And we can still seal their card. However, what happens when you go first... Man, imagine not having poisons. Is it... Guys, please don't call it the Danish Meta Breaker. I did it first, just saying. I'm fuming. But we need to get our Letho down. We also need to get our Alchemist, which is why even this 13-point Mentor is kind of risky, right? Because they could just pass here and we would have to go into a long round. So usually you can't actually afford to play Mentors here. Like if you imagine, I'm going to play my Letho now, right? My opponent can now pass and I either have to just let them take their Neuromancy or I have to play another card. And that means I can't bleed, which we want to do with this deck. So this 13-point Mentor was really greedy, but I just did it because I'm worried about losing on even. This deck is much better when you're going second, for sure. It's a really, really coin flip dependent deck. But our opponent wants to win on even, so yeah. We could probably just play another Mentor, to be honest. Try off Vigo. Nice. Playing straight into Igni, which honestly, like, this deck could play Igni. This is pretty dumb. And then we're going to go Quen into the Alchemist. Try and save the location for a rainy day. Yeah, obviously you guys have seen me play this deck on my channel. If you haven't already, go check it out. I was playing it with Onslaught. We did start off with Patch Saddle Fury, but I'm going to be playing Patch Saddle Fury version. My friend Saber on the council was playing something very similar. Imagine it's that version. Although, this guy played Portal front row, so doesn't seem like he has a Hunter or has it in hand. Here comes our opponent's Quen into Gerd. That's a girthy lad if ever I've seen one. So Vesemir can come in now. So as much as I want to steal this Neuromancy, like playing a flipping Quen into Alchemist is so slow. I'm really worried about losing on even. Then again, this guy's playing a Neuromancy, so it's not Saber's deck. Interesting. The decision we need to make here is if I go Alchemist, am I going to lose on even? I don't think so, but it is definitely a possibility. I really want to steal the Anira, of course. Like, it's just a very big play for us. However, knowing that our opponent's about to play Vesemir for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points. I think I'm forced to pass. And therefore, Warrant has actually just given our opponent an Neuromancy, but it also did, you know, give us our big bad boy dudes. We can also steal their Neuromancy with the location, right? This is why Cantarella could have been a better idea, but even then we would have had to gone. We just don't have the juice, right? So it is what it is. If we had poison in this hand, maybe we could have defended it a bit better, but I think not losing on even was the main thing here, right? Okay, Fangs is nice on the dry pass. Also an Alchemist off location could be an idea. Find the Canter. What you want to do with the poisons is you want to have a Fangs for the first poison and then a Puffball for the follow-up, right? So we're going to mulligan a Fangs here. Because you do want the death blow on this. Like, just playing this as the first poison, the card's really bad, but as the death blow is where it obviously shines. Our opponent passes. We have two options. We can go Fangs. Or we can go the greedy play, which is the location. And, yeah, I'm going to be greedy, I think, and play the location here. Try and high roll. So we can give our opponent a Puffball, which is going to be just a definite mulligan. We could give them an emissary, which they probably also mulligan. And we would probably rather have a Puffball, so I'm going to give them the emissary. Unfortunate, we don't high roll them, but it's worth a try, I guess. Obviously, we could have used this as a mentor. Honestly, this is probably a misplay. I probably should have just played the Fang. Because we're going to be able to use the location to put like a Neuromancy on top, right? And play, then we could have played. It's fine, whatever. That's fine. This is actually probably correct, the more I think about it. I don't want the Gutting Slash. It would kill a Hunter, but I have Imprisonment. Alchemist is not a card we want here either, particularly. Coup. Gwen is also bricked here. It's not ideal. What we could do with Alchemist is just steal one of our opponent's Witches, maybe. It's maybe not even that bad. They might be playing like Witcher Trio, for example. But if we like high roll one of their Witches, it would open up our Gwen. We're just going to ditch it. We need to Gwen into it anyway, right? Yeah, we can Canter, for example, like Vesemir or Mentor. They play like a Heat Wave. So this deck can struggle for proactivity, but one thing you can always fall back on is just Brathens into Emissary. I'd really like to avoid that, though, if I'm honest. We're just going to start off with Gwen, I think, and just try and high roll them. Alchemist is proactive. I'll give them their Gutting Slash back, I guess. And a D-bomb. We do have an awkward amount of poisons in this hand, but we have Vigo for Cupbearer, right? Roderick for Cupbearer, I beg your pardon. Or Coup. Yeah, MMR has been reset for the season. This guy's playing Select Mutations. It's a pretty reasonable card to include in this deck. It's extra points on Leo. I'm going to take the Dancing Star, I think. It's not ideal, but I don't really want to play any of these other cards at this moment in time. To be honest. They're both spawning in the back when I just killed the card in the back row isn't great. We're just looking for poison, and I don't want to go too tall with this Brathens at all. I think this deck's likely to play Axie, etc. This is what we really would have liked to have done with our flipping Balabomb, right? And obviously, like the fact that these both these Maddox are spawned in the back row is really not what we're looking for here. So I have the option of just going Brathens. Brathens on the Alchemist doesn't seem that bad anymore. I did want to try and save it for an Informant, but like we want to put Spies in the back row before we click Maddox, right? Let's just do that. Yeah, nothing really to Cantarella. Like normally, like Gwen would be an amazing target, but we drew all our Witches. Vesemir gone. Leo's going to be a great poison target for us at some point. Oh my goodness, a Heme Flamenco. Hello. That's pretty good. They already played for 9. That's definitely not bad at all. We could take the poison here. I don't really have many other plays I want to make, so I'm just going to take the poison. Yeah, we could just put Portal on top and Mentor, but I've got Cantarella in hand, right? Yeah, I wouldn't suggest they're playing Arnigar, but this is played for 9 points. That's really good. Really not bad, because there's some other synergies you could find in there, right? But imagine you play like this double raid card, and then you just dump a Flamenco. It's actually feel for it. It's 12 points. Really, really good. And also, like, you've got quartz. I really like this inclusion. It's really cool. There's their Anira that we could have stolen. But we can put Anira on top, play a 13-point mentor, and then Cantarella, right? Look at this Heime Flamenca go. But here we go. This is the moment I know you've all been waiting for. The Devil's Puffball. So, unfortunate, our Maddox aren't in the front row. But there we go. Okay, we got one in the front. That's alright. Very nice. We're going to put a Neuromancy on top. They shouldn't have a way of tutoring it. And then we can just play the Mentor for 13. And then we can go Cantor, which means we still get Cupbearer and Coup. Which are cards we are going to want to use both of. Obviously, we can use Leader to like line any Coup up that we want. Also, Triss could find us a poison. But don't forget, Triss is going to proc Assimilate on both Brathans and Cupbearer as well. So we would want a Cupbearer first. We could put Roderick in the back row as well, straight into the Cataclysm. So Roderick is just playing as a tutor card for a gold, like 0 points basically. Like the spy synergy with Madik is really, really nice. Yeah, I think Roderick into Cupbearer is my most ideal next play. But obviously only if there's a good poison target. Oh, they play straight into this. Oh, they don't. They play Kadich in the back. So I'm just going to say that they don't have a way of tutoring the Aniro. They're a 13-point mentor. Seems good to me. This is their Gerd turn. Did they Gerd round 1? I think they did actually, right? Maybe Gerd could have been a nice canter, but I think this is good. Cupbearer Coup seems good. So we could coup this. We could lock and coup. I kind of had better targets in mind, but I don't want to go for the poison yet because even though this is decent, there's the Leader. There's also other things. And this is not a bad coup, right? I don't really know what else we would want to coup from them. Axie wouldn't be a very good coup for us. They don't go blue. They don't go green. Leo would be okay, but we're never going to be able to set the coup up. Yeah, I'm going to go for this. We're pretty far ahead. We are pretty far ahead. We've got Cupbearer for the poison. Got Triss for... Hopefully a Falabomb would be nice, right? So we probably just take the Triss next. We sacrifice the Assimilate value on Cupbearer. Like, it would have been a lot... Ooh. Would have been a lot nicer to have gone Cupbearer first for sure, but... Never mind. Because we would have got Assimilate off their Anira and off Triss. Falabomb. Love it. Look at the Falabomb go, mate. Shutting down that Leo. In case we don't get the poison on him. They go play like a Bear Witcher here, for example, right? But yeah, look at this. We're 26 to the good. We still have a Leader charge remaining. We're having a Neuromancy from our opponent, but unfortunately it's not hitting too much. It would have been much nicer to Cantarella into like a gold card of some sort, but they just didn't really have anything that looked too good. The Gerd certainly wouldn't have been terrible, let's be honest. Could have been the motive. So, we're predicting their hand is Leo. Bear Witcher. Oh, this is still a nice poison for us, right? Definitely not terrible. Alright, and then we're going to click both Maddox. Play the only 8-point Devil's Puffball, but it's obviously a bomb, so we get the Maddox back. Obviously, the fact that we haven't got anything next to the Bear Witch is pretty sad. But it is what it is. We're 20 to the good. Oh, the Arnagad! Alright. Well, we don't even need to lock this, right? Because I'm not going to play any other units. So we can actually just lock the Quartermaster here. You've got to respect the opponent playing Arnagad, but we can just lock the Quartermaster for value. Hopefully we kill the Cantarella as well. Nice! 27 to the good, chat. They have Leader and maybe Hemdall. 27 to the good, though. Here we go. 8-point Leader. Is it Hemdall? Hemdall might do it. Hemdall won't do it. We win, right? No matter what it is. Yeah, boy. Right? Never in doubt. Let's flipping go. Winning a long round against the Witchers. Obviously, we were on the wrong side of the coin. The pass was important for us there. But yeah, very nice first game, first victory. Is the Witch-esque? Yeah. Probably should play like, not the Onslaught one that I built. And probably like a Reckless Throw or Patricidal Fury kind of vibe. Don't play a Nero, right? And definitely don't play Hunter. Just play Portal Fish Wrappers for sure. Yeah, it seems really good. For sure. And in fairness, this Jaime Flamenco opponent was playing isn't actually that bad, right? Seemed pretty good. Alright, so we're going second this time, so it's actually a lot different when you're going second. The same thing is there. You want Warrant and Alchemist and you want Letho. We've got Letho and obviously some bombs. Double Puffball is a bit weird, but we have actually a shit ton of poisons. We have to mulligan and try and find Warrant. We don't find. So it's a big deal. Like, the deck performs so much better when you find the Warrant, when you find the Letho and the Alchemist. Unfortunately, here we have a Letho, we have an Alchemist off location, but no Warrant. And we don't have Roderick either, because you can just slam the Roderick to try and find Quen or the dude, right? But we don't have it, unfortunately. Our opponent's got a Collar Stratagem. And they boost it, which just plays into our poison. So, I'm just going to play a Fangs. I don't want to hit this with a Dancing Star, because I'm going to poison this. I guess it might mean they hold the collar for a bit. Okay, they're going to Purify. Sure. Sure. I mean, I'm just going to poison again. Yeah, Selective Mutation I think is actually decent in SK Witches. It's +1, it's +2 on Vesemir and Leo, right? Which is actually alright. Really not bad. It's not setting the world on fire or anything like that. Setting the world alight is maybe a better phrase. So, we might find another poison off Vigo, right? I actually kind of regret mulliganing the Fangs at this point. Want to get our Letho down now for sure. Yeah, it's also a good point if you draw the Flapper. But also the other thing is you really don't want to go Quen into... Okay, now that is a big moment in this game. We now have a 10-point Mentor, but we just want our Madoc back. Hopefully we don't have loads of golds on top from an emissary. Take our Madoc back. Puffball, of course, will now play the Madoc out, and we could go Letho. This could be an interesting pass from our opponent here. If we had coup as well, we could coup the Cupbearer, right? Lock plus coup. Pikeman coming in. Quite a scary card. Eventually. I'm gonna take the Puffball. Letho plus Leader Charge is enough here. We really want the Madoc to stick. The fact they invoed Madoc as their first plan would suggest that they don't have another way of removing it, because you should probably just remove it first. Maybe. I guess that's not true. Okay, the Pikeman comes in. Look at this. This is probably the way to play soldiers, to be fair. I might try this, actually. Operator as well. Operator Pikeman's pretty good, no? Yeah, Warrant has got new art. He's been given some love. What a guy. We're close to the Mentor threshold as well here, right? We're really close to being able to play crazy good Mentors. Do I want to pass and go into a long round potentially against these Pikemen? I don't really care because I'm my leader. However, if it's Masquerade Ball, I probably do care. I would much rather win the round, I've got to be honest. We could go Brathens on the Hunter to lock. I really don't want to pass, I don't think. But it's a massive commitment, right? Like, committing Brathens is so huge. But we do want to win the round and then push round 2. Will we win the round if we go Brathens here? I don't think we will. We might have a 15-point Mentor, though, if they're playing ball, and Hunter's scaring me. I think I'm going to go for it, actually. I believe this will still damage us. Because it's still bonded, right?
Drinking can be hazardous to your health. Eyes closed, mouth open.
But we really want to win this round, so yeah. There it is, the 15-point juicer. We take the lock to stay ahead. And now if Vigo finds a mentor, we've got another 15-point mentor. Easy game, right? So Alchemist is enough, right? It's going to proc assimilate twice. Do we know what's on top of our deck? We stole the Maddox back. So, and on top of our deck then was what? And we used the Alchemist before. I can't remember. I should know what's on top. But I don't. Puffball? Yeah, there was a Puffball there, right? Puffball and Warrant. So Alchemist seems like a bad idea, right? But there is going to be another one. And we know what's on top of our opponent's deck because we just gave him a card, right? So we actually don't want to go Alchemist to just flex on him with a 15-point mentor. Not bad, right? And yeah, what you really want to do with this deck is you do want to win round 1. And if you can win round 1 uneven, even better. But you want to push into round 2 because these Maddox can play into all 3 rounds. Yo, Rabana, thank you. Glad you enjoyed the video. So, Informants would have been the card we could have given them, but it's not particularly good. While Puffball is a bomb, we have no other follow-up poison, so I don't really like it here. That's perfect, right? Now, Roderick here is Gwen, Alchemist, who we could just back row the Warrant to play as a clog. But we could Alchemist their ball. I don't really think we want to. Let's just play it as a clog. Ideally, we find Gwen into Mentor, right? It's probably still 15 points. Okay, that's alright. Get Kufa, carry it over. Missed the Quen. I don't really want to play the Triss. I think we're probably just losing this round at this point. Yeah, that's really bad. Holy shit, I knew it was pulling that right. Ah, this is just a stinker. Never mind. Imagine we played Warwick, we could have just played their Masquerade Ball. That could have been an idea, huh? And I really want to play this last card because it's worth so many points with my Maddox. But yeah, we just low rolled super hard, right? By missing the Quen. I should have maybe just taken the Triss anyway. I just thought it's a bit too much of a commitment. I just don't have the juice here, right? I can force the last card, I think, if I go leader charge. But I know I have coup for next round too, right? Yeah, this Cantarella was just a really bad idea. If I knew it was Sergeant on top, I should have just gone for the Triss, right? Probably still would have lost the round, but... So the Dancing Star here plays for 4. That's 8. It's 12 points. Leader charge plays for 3. It's 15. I don't even have enough. Holy shit. Well, I found a way to lose the game. Obviously, if we hit Quen, we probably have a 15-pointer, unless this is ball in hand. But yeah, like, front row Warrior. I obviously was trying to clog, but and then yeah, this is just a nightmare. Okay, this is the hand. I would have liked the Triss. Maybe I should have played her last round. Who would have thought, huh? In comes Rodders. Seems like they're struggling to play ball, but there it is. I can actually self-damage the Roderick here. I'm not going to, though. I don't think we're that scared, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong. Seems like this was the right choice. We are looking for Usurper, probably. Probably losing, right? I've really played this badly in round 2. Winning on even and still maybe losing to ball is not ideal, that's for sure. So coup looks a bit dicey, but we need to remember we can use our leader for it, right? Now, unfortunately, Usurper will get buffed by an agent, so we'll actually be 1 away from being able to play the Usurper. That's just a nightmare again. Maybe we should have tried to save Gwent for this exact reason, right? Then we could have Dancing Starred the Usurper, but it just looks like a loss, unfortunately. It's going to be somewhat close. If I had the coup on Usurper, we'll find Brathens for them. And we get Vincent. I mean, it's a nice target for us. It's pretty lucky for them that obviously our mentor was shielded. And we get the dub, let's go! Let's go, baby! Alright, I did my best to lose, but we still won. That's a sign of a good deck, right? Oh, Skulldozer.